Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. We've got a room full of people. Mike Fallon is here. He is going to introduce you to some guests. This is the opportunity to learn about the higher education opportunities in our community. We call this segment Higher Education Happenings. Mike Fallon is the Community Relations Coordinator for Webster University. And I'm chuckling because I told you off there that I would introduce everybody, but I think I'll let you do that. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Thanks
a lot of stuff we can do in our community, don't we?
Oh yeah. It's a great place to be. I think that this team at the table really makes it a great place.
All right, and you guys are pretty popular, by the way, when you do these videos. I know that a lot of people go to look at them. So.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Keep those smiles on.
Are we as active in the summer in our higher education as we are the rest of the year?
Well, for us, the summer term's a little slower, but we're gearing up for fall. Fall is huge. I guess that's probably across the board. Fall is the term for higher ed. It's a traditional back-to-school term, so it's our highest enrollment term of the year.
And is there, like we have the Marion County School Board for the public schools, that doesn't affect the higher education, does it? Not so much?
Not so much. No,
okay.
Not too much.
So are you all independent? Do you have to answer to Tallahassee? Or?
Well, we're a private nonprofit based in St. Louis, Missouri. So we answer to our board of directors through our main campus. Okay. But each school is a little different. I know that the state schools, of course, do answer to higher ups. Well, let me introduce everyone. And
yes.
how about we just go around and introduce ourselves?
Okay.
So
right.
I'm Mike Fallon with Webster University.
I'm Tracy Santiago. I'm the director of Webster University.
Okay.
Mark Palm, the Vice President of Academic Affairs at the College of Central Florida.
All right, nice to meet you.
I'm Crystal Flynn, the coordinator and academic advisor for the UCF Ocala Regional Campus.
And good to see you again, Crystal.
You too.
I'm Katie Degner. I'm the center director with St. Leo University here in Ocala.
All right, St. Leo, yes.
Rena Thomas, assistant director with St. Leo University.
And good to meet you.
And I don't have anything to do with higher ed, but I'm Kevin Shealy with the Chamber and Economic Partnership.
All right, excellent. And thank you for giving us the information about the ribbon cuttings. There's one today, as a matter of fact.
There is, this afternoon at 4 o'clock at the power plant.
And in fact, that one kind of dovetails with what you're talking about, because they are going to allow people who've studied to become in the health profession and connect with a job. I mean, education is about finding work, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, it's interesting, as we look at these, Webster, CF, UCF, St. Leo, CEP, but, we can't do what we do without our higher ed partners. And so we're excited to be here today.
Sure.
Just as you talked about, whether we're talking about our new manufacturing, we're talking about new distribution, we're talking about new, IT jobs or new healthcare jobs, like with Human Potential, the ribbon cutting today, we need those higher education opportunities and the layered opportunities to allow our workforce to get the skills they need to fill the jobs that are available. And one of the things we were talking about before is people don't realize, literally in our community today, we have hundreds of jobs that are available. They're not being filled. Good paying jobs because we don't have the people who have the necessary skills and credentials.
And so healthcare, obviously, we've got a good pool of job opportunities. So let's start there. Does the student who is trying to figure out what direction to go, does that student get the guidance as far, is one of the questions, where do you want to work? See, my son works in Gainesville. And he's one of those high-tech guys. He does computer stuff. I have no idea what he actually does. but Robinson actually had to move to New York to do what he does. So, but we've got a lot of opportunities here too. So, is that part of the question process when a student is looking for a direction?
I think it is, and we have certificate and associate degree programs at CF in healthcare. And as part of that educational experience, the students get to do hundreds of hours of clinical experience. So we partner with the hospitals in our community and do go as far as Shands for some specialized training. So by the time a student graduates, I think they have a feel whether they want to work in a smaller community hospital versus a large teaching facility. And oftentimes the clinical experiences actually become recruiting experiences for the employers.
And software is a common question in most job applications. So I'm guessing that's a direction that they have to go into. Like if they want a job that requires certain software, they've got to find a school that can teach it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And is that a pinpointed thing? I mean, if a student is looking to work in a field, does one school offer something different than another school?
I think we all have programs that are tailored towards assisting students with continuing careers. A lot of our BAS programs are designed specifically for individuals who are tracking through from an AS degree from an institution like CF, for instance, where they are already working in a field and they need those degrees to add on to move up within the ranks of perhaps the business where they work, or to further their career within that particular field. One of the things that we do as advisors is we do talk to them about their career plans. If they're looking to work at a particular corporation or organization, we ask them to do some of the investigation to see what those job requirements are going to be. I always tell students as an advisor, figure out where you want to end up and then kind of build your academic career kind of backwards. You need to know what those requirements are going to be.
That's a
now,
good piece of advice.
Not when you're finished.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing is all of the representatives here, we all have programs that would be a fit for just about any student. And whether they need a specialized training in a certain software, the internships that Dr. Paul was mentioning, several of our programs have that. There's also volunteer internship options, the clinical settings that health degrees require. All of those put together a degree that offers the student both that in-house experience in that field as well as the academic side. So when our students collectively graduate, they have all of that training together in one package.
What about the non-student who needs to go back? Maybe he's 30 or 40, or she's working in an office and she sees, the 18-year-old coming in and actually getting a better paying job. Do you help out with that person who needs to get some, because that would help retain their job? I mean, you might be in fear of losing your job if you don't keep up with the times, right?
We all do. Dr. Parr, you can talk to the...
Sure. Our average student is actually between 28 and 29 years old.
Is that right?
And is female predominantly.
Is that right?
We see a lot of people that come in, and it's almost, you can almost read what they're going to say. They're second career adults, or they're looking to be a second or third career adult, and they're almost embarrassed that they didn't go to school right out of high school, or they started college and didn't get off to a good start and did something else. So we pride ourselves, and we were talking before, we all have pathways for students. So rather than looking at this, some people view it as an enormous mountain to achieve to get to the top, we have small certificate programs that feed into associate degree programs, that feed into baccalaureate degree certificates and baccalaureate degrees. And then certainly with our partners, we even have master's degrees for people that need to do specialized training beyond that. So I think we do a really good job of helping people realize that your goals are attainable, and we can do it in a pathway piece.
The training that we've heard about when Mike's been here before, some of it is at home. Do the schools all offer at-home programs, or does it vary?
I think we all offer online programs.
Yeah.
Almost a third of our enrollment now is online.
Is that right? So the campus is empty?
I don't know about that. Campus is still busy, but almost a third of our enrollment is actually online education now.
But those online programs are a great option for students who are also working. And Kevin, you had a really great point earlier when we were chatting about the students who want to attain that goal but think they need to do it all right now.
That's right. So much, and we think about, Dr. Paul was talking, that student, maybe they started school and they're like, I'm not ready for this, or they really didn't know what they wanted to do. I'm going to go work for a little bit. I think it's so great for them, especially with all of our education partners, that in our community we're so blessed that they can work just as, and kind of take that tiered approach. You know what, for right now, I need this certificate. And then I can build on that as I work a little bit later. Okay, now I'm ready to move up to the next part. I can get that associate's degree, or I can move right on into that bachelor's completion program. But they can build on those things, and they don't have to think I've got to go right now and get this 4-year degree. And that they can build it. And I think it's important for our workers. I think it's important for our employers. They want to retain employees.
Absolutely.
Most companies want to retain their employees.
Right.
And so if there's a way to provide a career path for them where they can both work and continuing education. That's a win-win.
Wow, that's light at the end of the tunnel for somebody who's not happy with their job, right? Or just ready to do something else. We need to move for 30 seconds. We need to take a weather break, and then we'll be right back. And if you're just tuning in, Higher Education Happenings, Mike Fallon is here with a room full of experts in the field of education, higher education in our community, and information that'll help you get a better job or a better position. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, intervals of clouds and sunshine and a little bit less humid this afternoon, the high 91 to 95. Partly cloudy tonight with a shower or thunderstorm near the coast early tonight. Low 69 and a few inland spots, 76 on the beaches. For tomorrow, sunshine, some clouds. Watch out for a thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening, the high 90 to 94. And on Friday, partly sunny with an afternoon thunderstorm, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
All right, that was 30 seconds goes too quick sometimes. All right, 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. And just once again, Mike Fallon is in the studio, and Kevin Shelley at the end of the table here, the president and CEO of the Ocala Marion Chamber. And that's kind of a good resource also, is the Chamber, isn't it, as far as maybe a starting point, maybe somebody just moving into town wanting to know what's here.
That's a very common question. When we do lots of relocation packets, and we'll do anywhere from 80 to 100 a month. And a common question.
Wow.
We do. And people are surprised at that.
Yeah.
A common question is about higher education opportunities. And it's amazing. We get people who think, well, you've got to go to Gainesville, right?
Right, I'm sure.
Well, sure. Or you can stay here, and we think be better off, but
Right.
and talk about the richness and the diversity of the programs we have. And that's really important with both individuals moving and companies. As we're talking to our companies, and we were talking earlier, it varies greatly depending on the company. But for us to be able to introduce them to folks like St. Leo's, where they have opportunities to hit agreements, where the business and the university can hit an agreement together.
Right. St. Leo University offers corporate agreements with local companies at a discount for all their employees.
Oh, really?
We do. And we also go into businesses and have speakers, different seminars, criminal justice, human services. So to touch on what you said, it also gives them opportunity, what field they want to go in, and then helping the community, and also a discount for their employees.
And St. Leo you have a campus here, obviously.
At CF.
But you're the main campus is in St. Leo, right?
In St. Leo, Florida.
In St. Leo, which is not that far away. Where is that?
It's about an hour away.
Okay.
I want to add to that our typical student is 30 to 35 female. And
really?
And we're designed for working adults. Most of our classes are in the afternoon. They can do it on ground online. But like Kevin was saying, you have the associate's degree, you have certificate programs, but we cater for working adults, and they can get that bachelor degree, like working full-time with families. That's what we're designed for.
And Tracy, at Webster, is it the same for you?
At Webster, we actually are more female as well, like everyone else.
I'm hanging out at the college.
Yeah. We cater to the working adult, have the evening classes, in one evening a week that they can attend, or if they want to go full-time, twice a week. We have online classes as well. Our age group is probably 30 to 45. We have some older than that as well, and some younger. Our youngest has been about 23, and then the oldest has probably been around 65. So we have a wide range. We also have corporate partnerships with different corporations in the community that gives a discount for tuition as well. And we also go into corporations and we'll do a cohort that's more specialized for the needs that they need as well.
Are there scholarship or opportunities for the older student?
There's financial aid, and there's resources outside that are scholarships if they find them on our own. Unfortunately, we don't work with them on that, but they have to kind of find it on their own. But a lot of employers have scholarship or reimbursement and tuition discounts too. But the corporate partnerships have a nice discount.
Okay.
That's one thing that's really great is if you reach out to your employer, because sometimes they offer it and you don't know. Right. And sometimes if they don't offer it, maybe you need to talk to them about offering it, because some corporations in Ocala, I'll talk to them through our main campus. We have a corporate agreement, and they had no idea that they get 20% off of tuition,
right.
And the employer is going to give them back, a significant portion of their tuition for the year. So that's something that in your personal development, not even if it's just a monetary reward, if it's something that it's an intrinsic reward for the student, definitely talk about going back to school with your employer, because employers need to retain those great employees.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of organizations and different places you can work that have waiver programs, especially if you work through the state in any way, and sometimes with the county. There are lots of options there, and we can work with those students at UCF. Our regional campuses are designed specifically for what Kevin was talking about earlier. We have 9 regional campuses at UCF. The one here in town is located at the University Center at CF, and we're designed specifically, like everyone else here, for that working student. And we also cater towards the student who's decided to do the 2+2, come out of high school, go to CF, get their 2-year degree, or at another state college, and then transition to us to finish on. But a large portion of our programs are designed specifically for individuals who have work and family and mortgages and all of those different things that mean they may not necessarily be able to be in a classroom Monday through Friday. So there are online options, there are hybrid options. We all offer a variety of pathways that you can find a good fit for you at a great school right here. It's all about location for us. The idea that you need to leave this community to go get a great education, that's simply just not true. You can get an excellent education here at one of the partners and build your career options, increase your earning potential. We were talking about those statistics on our last show, and they were mentioned again at the breakfast last week by Dr. Henningsen, the impact on the local labor force and unemployment.
Yeah, we're big promoters. Obviously, education's important. The other thing we think is really important that it's the right education. We used to. I remember when I was in school. Doesn't matter what degree you get as long as you get the degree. Well, that is no longer the case. There's some great studies. American University had a study that came out last year. But it's really important that you're getting a degree that meets the demands, that there are opportunities. And that really tends to be what I call the professional programs, or things like accounting or things like counseling. You have to have this degree to do that job. Or in STEM, if you're just getting, we won't mention any categories, but a lot of degrees, that's not really preparing you for the workforce. They're not preparing you for that job. What I love about all of our partners here, for both our public partners at UCF and at CF, as well as our private partners, is they are mandated to meet the needs of this local community. So they're surveying our businesses. They're talking to our community.
Oh, wow.
What are the jobs? So, and I love the fact that they don't really compete with one another. I mean, they're very selective to make sure that, there's very little overlap. So they're offering programs that moves our community forward based on the needs of our community.
I have 2 examples, and I hope that these 2 categories are listening, and I'm sure there's many more. One of them is the technician for the garage. We have a show that we do on Mondays, and the guy who owns the garage made the announcement he was looking for a technician. And I said, well, what is that, a mechanic? He said, oh, no, it's 2 different things. And I said, well, could a mechanic become a technician simply by working in the garage long enough? No, they've got to go to school. Technician has to have had the actual school training. Well, the same thing is true for are they called RCAs? Resident care, like at the assisted living facilities. It's an entry-level position, from the way I understand it. It's not a high-paying position, but there's a lot of work, and your heart has to be in it, and yet you're never really going to make a really good salary with that. So I hope those, mostly women, are listening, realizing that, wow, right here in our own community, they could get an education and perhaps get that next level and get a little bit better paycheck, and then kind of build it from there.
And I think you've mentioned 2 great areas, because it allows people to get into the workforce, to get an idea. Taking the last example, hey, I enjoy this part of healthcare. I need to move up. And so all of our partners offer those healthcare stepping stone programs to get that next certificate, to move up a little bit, make some more money, then to get that next degree to make some more money, and to move up to where they are really being impactful and being fulfilled as a person, as well as being able to fill a real need in our community.
I would like to touch base with Dr. Paul on the Excel It program for a moment, because that's something that really does fit the needs of the community. If you could give us a little bit of a cap on that.
Sure. We're very much in the beginning of a Department of Labor. We were awarded a $10.4 million grant. And the impetus of the grant was to serve, particularly in the rural communities, the need for technology and IT technology education and training. So we are the lead of a consortium of 6 other schools. But the bottom line is we have new programs at CF in entrepreneurship, mobile device technology, network security, and others that really allows a person to have a change in a vocation, a change in a career. But again, it's all about the pathway, because all of those programs will lead up to the ability to earn an associate's degree and further if one desires to do so. So it's an exciting opportunity. We have several people that are just focused on the grant. And it's called Excel It for Excel IT, and we're very excited about it.
You know, you said something interesting. You said entrepreneurship programs, and that made me realize that somebody who perhaps is the owner of their business, you know, they're the one who controls, you know, who gets promoted and who doesn't, but maybe they would prefer to be a little bit more educated, and they would need to know the software that is actually being used in their own company. I mean, we always say surround yourself with good people, but maybe you've got to be that person too.
Well, here's a great example. If I look at our power plant business incubator, you know, we're at 95% occupancy. I have 3 residents there who have started businesses. They're doing well. One is 16, one is 17, one is 21.
Wow.
If you look at the average,
what are they doing? What are they?
Some really amazing companies in there. But they need that training entrepreneurship. They have found something they're very passionate about and very good. Not surprising, it's related to technology, IT, video, those kind of things. But they still have to learn how to run a business. They still have to understand what cash flow analysis is. They still have to learn those principles. And so I think there's a huge opportunity for entrepreneurs. This is a very entrepreneurial community, but you need to learn those skills and to make sure that we're providing opportunities. That's what's so great about the Excel It program.
What I hope we can accomplish with these visits, Mike, is that the word gets out about these visits, whether somebody's listening live or they listen on the recorded version, and they share it with somebody else. Sure. And then, of course, the big thing is how do you find out more? So can we go kind of down the line and each different school maybe give some contact information?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you can visit our Facebook at facebook.com/higheredhappenings. But at Webster University, you can stop by our campus in Heathbrook, or we have an office upstairs in the University Center with all of the partners here. Our website's webster.com, webster.edu/Ocala, and we'll go on to CF.
For College of Central Florida, it's cf.edu, and for particular information on the Excel It program, the Eurocentury Center, right as you come onto campus, first floor, there's someone in the reception area that'd be glad to help you.
Okay, all right, excellent.
You can find more information about UCF Ocala at ucfocala.com. And we're also located upstairs in the University Center in the suite we share with CF and St. Leo.
And so St. Leo's also on College of Central Florida, the University Center. Our website is stleo.edu/Ocala. Lots of great information on our website as well, and our phone number and everything is listed there.
Or if you want to learn about all of our great higher education institutions, you can go to ocalicep.com and click on About Ocala Education, and we have information about all of our higher education partners.
And would you be the resource for maybe kind of deciding which university to approach, or who would do that? Who would help you with that?
You know, it would be great to refer you to people who could help you with that.
I got you.
Hold on. Or I could answer that. Who's the bigger partner? Let me think about that.
That's what advisors are for. So if you check out the school that you're interested in and speak with an academic advisor at any one of the partner schools, they'll be happy to help students figure out the pathway that's best for them.
Just a real quick question. Is there a veterinary program in Ocala? Does anybody have a program for that? No.
There's not veterinary. There is an equine program at CF.
We do have an equine program.
Okay. The only reason I was asking is because everybody I know who studied veterinary science, I guess, went up to Gainesville, and even people from Tallahassee go to Gainesville. So,
really?
Yeah. I guess that's the place for that particular thing.
There's not very many of those programs, actually.
And as a Pearl, they are more competitive than medical school to get into.
Is that right? Oh wow! But it sounds like some of the biggies are healthcare and auto mechanics. Is that a big one?
That's a career path. I don't know so much with these higher education partners we do with others. Healthcare is always going to be big. We have tremendous opportunities within manufacturing and skills development. Again, that's really hitting that approach, that stared approach. IT is always going to be big.
IT is going to be huge. It still is.
To be. Education,
business, education.
And I think those counseling programs are doing very well with our partners. Because I think people can use those for lots of different things.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming in, Kevin Shelley. Did I say your name right?
Close enough.
Is it Sheely? Sheely. Well, thank you, Kevin. Let's see, Rena Thomas, Dr. Mark. Paul, thank you. Tracy Santiago, thank you for coming in. Katie Thank you for coming in. Crystal and, of course, Mike Fallon, thank you all for coming in and helping us with this. And for the listeners, this has been recorded as a video as well as an audio, so you'll be able to share it with your friends and your family. And all of the websites and information are already on here, but they're also on the WOCA.com website. If you look at the guest list for today, you'll see it. Higher education happenings. Mike and everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.